This is a time of year when everything starts to go a little wrong for me. Because I always get stressed about coordinating all the things that I have to do before Christmas, and also it's my daughter's birthday as well, so it's kind of like a double whammy for me. But one thing I've really noticed that is helping me at the moment with everything, literally, with the whole anxiety thing of, planning and buying stuff and knowing how much of your energy you really want to spend putting your heart and your soul into something like Christmas. Christmas is a meaningful time for me in terms of the spiritual side of it, but everything else, kind of, my whole feeling about this time of year from when I was a child, that magical feeling that everyone wants to feel, gets swallowed up by a torrent of emotions that just want to take over, and it just builds anxiety, so much so that I literally feel like I have to do one thing after another, after another, after another, and it's never going to end. And that really strong feeling of I have to keep going, I know it's not real, because I know that there's only one place to function from, and that place is my heart center. And when I'm coming from that place, I'm not shirking my responsibilities. So I'm not saying, oh no, I don't want to buy stuff for Christmas, so I'm not going to do it, I can't be bothered, and then fearing the result of that. All I'm doing is simply saying in my head that all is good, and then asking my intuitive self, my God self, Spirit, Holy Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, that part of me that knows what to do, to come, to put me coming from a place where I'm only doing what is the right path to help purify me, to correct me, to put me in line with how the universe works, with how God works, with how it all works perfectly. Most of my time, well, at least 50% of the time, I'm spending fighting that and trying to do what I think I should do, and what I feel compelled to do. It's a compulsion feeling that I must do this, I must do this. I've done that already, so therefore I need to do this now. And these types of feelings this time of year are very strong in me. And the one main thing I've found that helps is literally going in just momentarily every time it gets on top of me, and remembering that there's nothing there. There's literally nothing there until I put it there. So it's empty. It's empty. in this now moment, everything is empty, no matter what I see, because everything comes from what we create in our consciousness, and then we see the result of that. So if you're always coming from the point where you see it as being empty, the point where it gets created, then you're always coming from good. And if you're always coming from good, you're always coming from the God part of you, that basically gives you intuition and tells you what is the right thing to do in any one moment. You can relax and just let it all go, because it's going to be done. It's going to be done. Maybe not in the way that you think it should be done, and maybe not in a rushed way, and maybe not all the things that you thought were important are going to be done first. But when you've got a list of things, this is what happened to me basically. I wrote a list down of things that I needed to do, and I found that when I actually looked at that list, I mean, the intention of it was to get it from spiraling around in my head all the time. But actually, all it did was just make me feel worse. Instead of taking it off of my head, it almost reinforced the fact that I felt that I needed to do all of those things. And when I've done all of those things, I know there's always going to be more stuff. And it gets so bad with me that I almost feel like it's going to kill me at some point. You know, that it just doesn't ever end. It's relentless. And the only way not to function from that place of fear, where you feel like you have to get all these things done, otherwise what's going to happen to you, you know. And I literally have found that the only way that I can deal with this is by going inside, remembering that I'm not just a body that is ruled by my mind, the egoic part of my mind. I'm not this. This is not me. This is not me. This is not who I am. And it makes me feel powerless when I go down that road, and I know that that's not the right road for me anymore. All it does is make me feel depressed and anxious, and you know, it kind of, in a way, it does lead to our death, because we push ourselves and push ourselves and push ourselves in a way that is not natural. It's not natural for us to be like this. Our natural state of being is to function from love, from our heart. This is who we are. And that is one thing that is never going to change. So when you come from your heart with everything, with every single task, when you come from your heart, when you come from love, and you put love there where there was fear before, it stills the mind. And what it does is it takes off the weight of everything, because you're handing it over to the higher part of you, the God part of you, that can then balance it and correct it. God knows what you want to do with your life, knows the difference between the things that you're forcing yourself to do, that you feel that you should do, and the things that make life worth living for you, the things that you love. And when your heart is in something, everything works together. So all you need to do is go to your heart center, be still, be quiet, and ask for spirit to do it for you. You say, you decide for me. You decide what I do. today. I'm waiting to be guided by you. I have a whole list of stuff that I feel like I should do, but it's just making me feel anxious. So you decide what is best for me to do today. And this is how I'm coming. This is where the point where I'm coming from in every moment of every day. I'm trying just to be aware of when my mind wanders back to that list and starts getting stressed about all the things that I'm not doing that I think I should be doing. Just paying attention to that, how it feels in my body as well, because it's a noticeable thing when you start to feel stressed. You start noticing that you feel it in your body, you feel tension in your body. I've got some back problems at the moment, and it does affect you, and it's a knock-on effect. So as you feel bad, then you create more bad, and then you get ill, and it's like a vicious cycle basically. So if you can, in every moment, just breathe. And come back to that a point of power, which is in your heart space. It's the place where you're only functioning from that higher part of you, that part, not higher part of you, the deeper part of you, the part of you that knows in every moment of every day what is best for you. Because of your path, because of your life path, because of the lessons you're learning, because of everything that's happened and everything that's going to be. This part of you knows everything. It knows everything about you. And it's the way to deal with what you perceive as being a threat to your life. There is no threat to your life. Your life is eternal. But when you're in a body and you come here to learn these lessons, it's very difficult not to focus on what you see with your physical eyes, rather than what is the only thing that's real, which is how you feel on the inside. And the pictures and everything that you receive from God, from Source. That is the only thing that's real. Everything that you see with your eyes is what's been created from that real place. So you're seeing the results of what's already been created. So when you create from the point of the spiral where all is good, everything that comes out of that is what you want to create. And the more you create from that heart space, the more you create what you want. And then when you receive what you want, which is love in everything, you create more love, you create more of the same, and you create more and more and more of that feeling that is God, which is more of what we want. And it's a very real practice. It's a very real practice. Just coming back to how you feel in every moment. Pay attention how you feel in your body. Are you thinking about future events? If so, come back to your breathing. All is good when it's coming from the right place. When it's coming from the wrong place, it's easy to judge it and be afraid of it and think, no, that's not going to work. Because you're not coming from your heart. You're not coming from love. You're coming from fear. And when you're thinking about the future, that's not real as well. So you know it's not real. You can know in your mind it's not real, but do you know in your heart? Do you feel that it's not real? When you do your meditation and you go in and you really connect with yourself, is that space where you are there? isn't that the most real thing? Because without that, there would not be any of this. There wouldn't be any of this. Because that's the only thing that's real, is coming from you. Everything pours out of you. You're the macrocosm, and everything that you see is just showing you a little tiny piece of the great big puzzle. And if you choose to look at it like that, I mean, sometimes I choose to look at it like that, but sometimes I'm so in chaos with my thinking that I really find it helps me to just to envision a blank slate, like literally a piece of slate. This is what I have in my head, just that blank slate, and go back to that again. Every time I think about the future, every time I think about something that scares me, that I know I have to do, all it is an opportunity to be love, and to be that love that you are, and to show yourself that in every moment you can be that love, because that's what you are, and that's all you'll ever be. And you can be it even with things that you're scared of. The only reason you're scared of them is because you're basing your judgment of it on how you felt in the past, which is also not real. There is only now. And when you go in and meditate, it really helps if you literally concentrate on something that is really now. So your body, your parts of your body are very in the present moment, very solid. You can concentrate on each part and see how it feels in that moment. I find this type of meditation really, really helpful, concentrating on parts of the body. It really brings you into the present moment. Anyway, I've just realised I've talked for 17 minutes and 29 seconds. It wasn't intended to be a really long talk. I just really wanted to get across this feeling of emptiness that helps me. It's not an emptiness as in there's no love. It's an emptiness that means that a space has been created where I'm not worrying constantly about things. I'm being okay with not knowing what's going to happen, because we never know what's going to happen, do we? We never know what's going to happen, ever, unless we're amazingly psychic and see the future exactly how it is in every moment. Most people can't do that. Even the most clairvoyant people can't necessarily do that. But it's being okay with that. It's being okay with the not knowing how things are going to turn out, and trust that when you're coming from it's good, that it's going to turn out good, because your thinking is in that place that is trusting in God, is trusting in that there's a higher power that created all of this, all of the stuff that you feel inside of you, that's going to lift it off of you. It's going to hold you in its arms and take care of it, because it does when you let go of needing to control because you're scared. When you let go of that need to control everything and put your trust in your intuition, in your God self, it's amazing what can happen. It's amazing what you see as well. You get little flashes of insight into things. it's just something that really helps me. And I think people don't do it because it's associated with Holy Spirit and religious stuff, and but that's okay. That's just another way of putting a box around it again and saying this is this. You know, it isn't what you say it is. It is what it is, and you can always come from that place where you're not defining anything, you're not labeling anything, you're not trying to build a picture of what it is and create around that a whole illusory world of what you think it is or what it could be. You're being with what it is, and you're saying to yourself, I don't know what it is, but I totally accept what it is, because what it is the deeper part of me that I love. It's that part of me that is mystery, that, you know, at Christmas time, this is what we're trying to connect with, that grand mystery in everything, that beauty, that majesty, that magnificent part of us that we don't think is us. You know, this should be the celebration at Christmas. The birth of us, the birth of the Christ mind, the mind that is beautiful, it's whole, it's complete, it's perfect, exactly how it is, as it comes in, as it's created. It's perfect all the time. It's eternal, it's powerful, it's infinite, it's unchanging. It's always us. This is what we are, and this is the part of us that we connect to when we're children. You know, yes, it is exciting receiving all these presents and everything, but it's the magic of Christmas. It's the it's just that part that we don't know what it is, but we just know there's something that we're not seeing, and it's that mystery that makes us want to create this time of year where you've got all these special lights and you've got presents and you've got everyone coming together and bringing the light all together and all unifying in our hearts. This is what it is, and this is where we can be in our hearts. We can be in that place all the time, all the time. So finally I finished. And I just want to say to everybody who's watching this, thank you so much for watching. And I'm just going to move that now because it's looking a bit dark, so I can see my face a little bit better. It is very dark outside. Thank you for watching my videos, and I really sincerely hope that people are relating to this. There's many people out there this time of year who are getting stressed. And I really relate to that myself. I really understand that. Turn your attention into how you feel, into your heart, and feel that love that's inside of you. It's always there. It never leaves. It's always there. Okay, thank you. Bye.